afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the J Lounge. Of course, you guys know I am your hostess with the mostest, Miss J, aka Miss Simone Jackson, here to bring you guys another great episode of the J Lounge. Of course, you guys know the J Lounge is a celebrity-based podcast show where we talk with actors, directors, filmmakers, you name it. They all come down here and they all have a really great time. As per normal, I am very excited to be introducing my next guests. They are here to talk about their first featured film, who they are as a filmmaker, and just more about their work. And I'm very excited for them to be on here today. Everyone, please give a super warm welcome to Tyson Whitney. Hi, Tyson.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me.
Yes. Thank you for being on here today. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Well, I'm going to go ahead and fire the first question at you, Tyson. I want to know, what began your passion for filmmaking?
I'd say there's always been, for as long as I can remember, always been some sort of passion and fire for it. Like when I was younger playing with toys, I would try and squint my eyes and make it seem like more of a movie as I'm like looking at it, making the G.I. Joes do things that I need them to do. And then as soon as I like got my hands on a camera, realized I really like doing that, and then kept doing it like with just filming my friends skateboarding and doing jackass style stunts and just being boys around like 13 14 years old. And then for a while I was like really wanting to do it. I took a bunch of video production classes in high school, and then after graduating high school it was just kind of, the internet was around. It was just not as useful as it is now, obviously. And so I didn't really know like a route to take with video and filmmaking and stuff. So I just kind of strayed away from it and listened to people be like, oh yeah, it's a hard job. Might as well like find a real job. And then I'm like, okay, let's try that, I guess. And like did that for a long time, and just, was job hopping all the time and trying to find something I liked. Eventually, I was just like, this is stupid. There's obviously like people working on movies and like making stuff for a living. So it's like, why can't I do that? So I just really hunkered down, and my brother was an actor at the time, and he had like some connections with some local producers and stuff. So I was trying to get like info from him, info from whoever I was talking to that like he connected me with, and then just kind of grew from there essentially, and just haven't stopped growing.
I like it. I like it. Shout out to the brother for having connections, for being able to, get you a little foot in the door with that. So that's
yeah,
that's always a bonus. That's always a bonus.
Well, eventually I ended up working with his connections. It was like just a random like happenstance that I got on my first legit film set, and that was in 2014. I applied to be a photo double, and they accepted me, and I was like, sweet, this is where I'm going to learn everything. So I did.
Absolutely. Going on to the next question, how many people influenced your career and why?
Wait, what was that last part? Kind of muffled for a second.
And why? Name 3 people who influenced your career and why.
3 people. Okay. I've gotta say Christopher Nolan. He definitely did. Even though we never met, but
no, totally understand. That's a justifiable first answer.
Yeah, just I don't know. Like for a while, I was just kind of over movies and movie theaters, and then someone showed me The Prestige. I saw like Batman Begins and Dark Knight, and then like when Inception came out, I was like, yes, movies are back. So
I totally know what you mean.
I kind of like. Yeah, I'm glad you understand. It's kind of like brought another fiery passion out for me. But let's see, number 2, I would say we got, I'd say just like a couple local crew members, like Ryan McDowell. He's like a local first AD. here in Salt Lake, and he like kind of trained me in production and stuff. So he influenced a lot. And then maybe yeah, my friend Israel Bonilla, who I'd like tried to get into film for a long time, and he's finally doing it. And like he wrote and directed a short that he had me be the director of photography for, just like recently, which was really fun. And he's going on a festival run with it, so yeah, he's a pretty good influence, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I love the choices, especially Christopher Nolan. I mean, I completely understand what you mean. When I saw The Dark Knight first time in theaters, it was just one of those experiences you just need to see in theaters, honestly. It's just,
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm so glad you understood. That was a movie. And I did see Inception. It took me two times to see it in theaters to actually understand what in the hell I was actually watching. But once I did, it's a
That's
great
fair.
movie. You're right.
I love it. Like
Yeah,
a lot of
me
people want
too.
to
Yeah,
say bad things about it, but it's like you can say bad things about every movie. But
right.
this one is
But
just it's such
yeah,
a ride.
that's the best way to describe it. I tell people it's one of those movies where you cannot like miss a blink. Like don't get up to move anywhere because you're gonna miss something that can connect everything to the movie. So if you're not paying attention, then yeah, it's gonna go over your head. And Christopher Nolan is definitely going to be one of those directors that people are still going to talk about 75 to 100 years from now. So it's going to be interesting to see how they talk about his work in that time. So yeah,
Absolutely, it's gonna. I don't know, I'm sure they're already studying like his movies
yeah,
in different film schools.
yeah. So going on to number three question, Tyson. I know you said Christopher Nolan, but name two other filmmakers who influenced your work.
Like other directors instead of
Yeah.
the first
Mhm.
AD. And okay, I'd say Denis Villeneuve, director of Dune and Prisoners,
Ah, yeah, 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 yes, yes, yes.
Sicario. Yeah, I probably butchered his name, but
No,
I
that's
have no
okay.
idea how to say
I've
it.
struggled to say his name too, so you're fine.
Yeah, him, and then let's say I don't want to say Scorsese, but I do want to say Scorsese,
You can say
just because I feel
Scorsese.
like that's just like yeah, that's just like too much of a given. But definitely Scorsese. Like The Departed is my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's absolutely fair. That movie was fantastic. I can fully decree. That was a
Yeah,
great
there's
movie.
just something
Star
about that
studded.
one.
Yeah,
Star-studded, also a ride. Just a
yeah,
good, so many
yeah.
quotable moments and just I
I
don't know,
think what
just
people
fantastic
really
storytelling.
like about that movie just gives them that old like gritty nine, 1960s gritty cop detective feel. It's a very absorbing.
Very absorbing. That's a good way to put it for sure. Like whenever it's on TV, I have to go run and get the DVD,
Oh no,
put it in,
that
and
is
watch
fair.
it.
That's completely fair.
Just like cancel all my appointments. Watching
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Departed.
might as well. Going on to the next type of stories as a filmmaker are you interested in being in bringing to the forefront?
Well, I like to have some sort of theme in my in like either my shorts or my music videos or even in the feature that I directed this year. They both have some sort of theme and just not, I guess, underlying message. Yeah, more so like that. So like I did this short called Suffocate that was about like government corruption and kind of forcing everyone to wear masks because they were. This was before COVID too, and like a few years before it, but they were forcing people to wear like respirators because they were spreading propaganda about like the Earth losing
Mhm.
its oxygen or it's poisonous or whatever it was. And like having things like that, or like another one called A Long Look at the Devil is about like how it's almost impossible for people to get health care, and like if you're not super wealthy, like you're pretty much just screwed to your own devices, you know, like you are just left to suffer with whatever disease you have, kind of thing. And just having a story follow certain people that are way more underprivileged than most people, and what they would do to, you know, continue to survive. And then like and I have like a few feature scripts that cover like the next feature I want to make is about like kind of losing friends and recovering from certain addictions and dealing with that. And but it's like a comedy, and so it's all like very lighthearted but covering like some pretty heavy stuff. And so yeah, I like to just kind of have way deeper meanings,
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
than what's shown on screen.
No, I completely understand. I completely understand. And that is absolutely amazing. And that actually brings me to my next question. I want to make sure my audience follows you and your work. Where are you on social media?
I got pretty much everything. I don't have X. I have Instagram, which is at Tyson Directs, and then I have TikTok, which is at Tyson Does It All, and then because I have like DJing content on there and stuff. But then I have a YouTube channel that's Short Round Films, which is the name of my company. Short Round, like the sidekick from Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
And films. Yeah, and then let's see. I'm on LinkedIn. Got Facebook. Those are just my names. Tyson Whitney, and then what else is there? Pretty much it. I guess Threads. That's my Instagram. So
Yes. Of course, I highly encourage my audience. Make sure you follow Tyson Whitney on Instagram, X, Thread. Just make sure you follow him and follow his work as well. We want to see more of him, so make sure you definitely guys follow him. Going on to my next question, Tyson. What future projects are you involved with that you can give a dish about to the J Lounge audience?
well, we haven't released the feature that we made or we shot earlier this year over the summer, which, by the way, we shot in 5 days, which was insane. But that's a different story to tell. But it's that's going to be coming out, so I'm stoked about that. We're, I think, premiering it at the local film festival this year, the Utah International Film Festival. I could be wrong though. I'd have to ask Tanya, the producer. But yeah, I think it's that's coming up. We right after we finished or wrapped on production for that one, ended up shooting one day on a different comedy for like the same company essentially, but the other half, or I guess the other 90% of the movie, will be taking place in Nigeria. So I'm waiting on like word on what's happening with that, but I got to direct at least like the Utah portion of that movie, so we'll see how that folds out. And
Yeah.
right now I'm just developing my next feature, the one about like losing friends and dealing with addiction and stuff like that, which I like to call it Groundhog's Day meets Superbad, and I think that's a perfect description for it. But it's pretty funny, and I think it's gonna be one of those. It's basically gonna be my Superbad.
Ooh, okay. Okay. I'm excited. I'm excited. Alrighty.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I'm very excited about it too.
Definitely keep us here at the J Lounge here posted about it as it more comes along.
Will do.
Yes.
Yeah, we should be at least getting some sort of traction starting March. So That's our plan anyway.
Keep us posted. Keep us posted. Going
We'll
on
do.
to the next question. What goals do you hope to accomplish in your career that you haven't yet?
I guess I would love to be the director of photography for a feature. That would be a good goal. I want to knock out 3 more features as director.
Yeah.
I'll make a horror movie, and then make kind of like an action adventure style. I'm always gonna have comedy and everything, just because I like to laugh, and I think more people should laugh. So
Oh, I'm
no
in
matter
full
what
agreement with
genre I'm
that.
doing,
Full agreement with that.
well, it's like no matter what genre, I want to throw some jokes in. But yeah, I think those are pretty solid goals I haven't accomplished yet. I think also getting residual checks. That's
Ooh.
that's on my bucket list.
See, I have asked a lot of guests that question. Rarely do any of them say residual checks. Now you're talking. Now you're talking.
Yeah,
That
this is a business.
I no, Tyson, I appreciate it. You're seeing the bigger picture. You know, you want to do all these things, but you know these things cost money. If you can get residual checks, you know, a nice steady residual check,
Mm-hmm.
then you're you're financially good. So I get it.
Yeah,
I,
something like like Joey from Friends is getting.
yeah, no, I totally understand. You're looking at the bigger picture. I respect it. I respect it. Oh my
I have
goodness.
to.
I know. Right. Uh Alrighty, going on to the next question. Can you tell the J Lounge audience a little bit more about your feature film?
Yeah, it is a faith-based hospital drama based in pretty much anywhere USA. It's about a surgeon who marries into religion essentially, but never fully believes it, and just only believes in like the science and like medical practice and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
which makes sense. And then his family gets in a car crash, ends up in a coma, and he can't figure out how to bring them back and stuff. And so it's just about his journey from going from faithless to faithful and having faith in himself and in a higher power to basically help heal and help him move forward and just be able to get what he wants essentially, and putting that, like, instead of holding on and trying so hard, just putting all of his faith in God. So yeah, and it was actually for the Pentecostal church in Nigeria, like a little recruiting video, but we ended up getting, his name's RMD is his initials, Richard Demofe, I think is how you say his name, but he's like pretty huge in Nigeria, and so producers decided we need a different route, and I'm all about that because, I mean, can't just leave that one story to just a certain section of people that's so small. I feel like it needs to be more broad. But yeah, so that was my first feature, and I didn't write it. I just kind of got contracted on to direct it, which I was all about because I saw the challenge of what they were trying to do. They needed to shoot it in 5 days because of budget constraints, and just kind of growing up in the production world, I knew how to schedule stuff and I knew how long things can take, and so I saw that and was like, yeah, challenge accepted. Let's do it. Let's see if we can make a feature in 5 days, and we did. It ended up it was like 70 pages over the span of those 5 days, and we averaged like, yeah, it was kind of crazy.
Oh my goodness. That sounds
I
insane.
don't recommend it, but
Well, of course not. Of course not. Oh my goodness, with the
you
fact
gotta
that you
do what
did
you
it
gotta
is,
do sometimes, you know.
you're right. You're right. Sometimes you do gotta do what you have to do. So my goodness. Uh
Yeah, I did a bunch of little tricks just to save time, like block shooting, just doing like all the wides in a certain room for every scene that's in that room, then moving in after that, and then just doing shooting 3 cameras helps. That also saves a lot of time, and
yeah.
a
Oh
lot of
my
a lot of planning.
yes, you have to a lot of planning. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Oh. All right, Tyson. Well, I'm going on to the last question here for you. Can you give any advice to any aspiring filmmakers who are hoping to be just as successful as you?
Yeah, everything changed when I started to really network. Treat like every interaction with every filmmaker just as a networking thing. Like, I have definitely gone further once I started to actually like talk to people and tell them like what I got going on, and ask what they're going on and help people out on their projects, stuff like that. Just kind of, it's like a energy exchange in a way. I say focus on exchanging energy. That way you can get a group of people that are down to help you, and you're down to help them, and you just got to kind of grow together, essentially. And then also just got to keep shooting. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, find a way to get a job shooting, or like do what I did and start shooting for companies, little local businesses and stuff like that. That way you're like, sure, most of my time is spent like finding those clients, but that does help. Just helps you plan and helps you become a better producer if that's what you're looking for. And but my theory is the more you know about every single job on set, the better director you'll be. That way you're not demanding crazy expectations, like thinking something that's really going to take 2 hours will take 20 minutes, that type of stuff. Just learning the ins and outs of everything, networking, and never stop shooting. I'd say those are the top 3 pieces of advice I can get.
I think that is great advice. Great advice that I'm hoping that my audience is taking in. Very much so. Tyson, I really enjoyed our talk today. I really appreciate you sharing your
I
work,
did too.
where you're hoping your career goes. Like I said, the residuals, to me, best answer, hands down. I guess,
I like that.
yeah, you were thinking of the future.
It
Thinking
just
of the
seems,
future.
yeah, I gotta set myself up.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I hope my audience definitely takes in our conversation today, and I highly encourage my audience one more time. Please make sure you probably follow Tyson Whitney on all social media. Twitter, I'm not calling it X, it's Twitter. Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and yes, please just make sure you check out more of his film work as it comes along as well. Of course, you guys
And
know.
yeah, I have a website,
Oh yes, please, yes,
shortroundfilms.com too. It's
yes, and
shortroundfilms.com. Yeah.
make sure you guys check that out as well, please. Give that support. Give Tyson a follow, a like, share, whatever you can think of. Just make sure you give out more support for his work. Of course, you guys know
Appreciate it.
yes, always, 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 always. Of course, you guys know I have been your hostess with the mostest, Miss J, aka Miss Simone Jackson. I'm always here to bring you guys another great episode of the G Lounge. I want to thank my amazing guest, Tyson Whitney, one more time for being just an incredible guest and just sharing his thoughts with us today. I will be back with another great episode here soon. Till then, everyone, stay safe, stay dry, and I'll be back. Bye.
Cool. Thank you.